What is going on, Utensils? It is I Am Spoon, and this is an episode of What a Spaz. Kind of. I'm gonna bring up a series again. Try to, at least. Once again, I don't, even in What a Spaz, my older videos, I don't always use the spaz only. Right? It happens a lot, but it's not always there. The spaz, of course, is my favorite weapon in Modern Warfare 2. If not my favorite weapon to use in all first-person shooter games, as long as it's available. But today I want to kind of bring up something that I tweeted about recently, that I've been noticing pretty much everywhere. You might hear me clicking a little bit, because I kind of get little smidges of it here and there, but it's everywhere. So, normally I don't like to talk about big things that are in the news, but this freaking Jody Arias case, I don't know how to say the name, is bugging me. And it's not just this case that's bugging me. It's every case similar to this. And I don't mean that there's hundreds of other cases that involve stabbing to death by a female to a male, because I'm sure it happens. I'm sure it happens quite frequently in, if not the United States, definitely the world, but probably the United States too. Obviously not every single day, but pretty goddamn often. In fact, murders happen every single day. Murder trials happen every single day. Well, not every single day, maybe. But they happen pretty often. Because you can think about how many murders go on in the United States and how many trials they have to do. How many trials, I mean, they have court every single day for a courthouse for some type of thing. And they have trials, not just for murder, but of other things too. But why do we pick one? Why do we pick one trial to focus on for like a month? Why does this happen? Why? I don't understand. I took a journalism class last semester. Now this is prior to me deciding to go to school, not to go to school. That is the question. But we went over the importance of news and what is important to the news. Right. So the importance of news is obviously to get as much information out to the public as possible. In this case, we're not talking about local news, which would be a little easier to explain and understand, but we're talking about national news. So why is this on national news, not just for 10-minute segments, but the entire trial? Why do we pick a case to talk about so heavily that nothing else matters? And I gotta tell you, I look at this and I say, I don't give a fuck who stabbed who. I don't give a fuck who gets the death penalty, who doesn't. I don't care. I've got other things to worry about in the nation. It's almost as if they're taking our eyes and putting them on one thing to focus on so heavily. And I feel like it's something we all know about, we just don't talk about it, or we just ignore it. It's like, it's accepted. I don't accept it because when I took journalism, I loved the class because I think journalism is an important thing to do. Not only to open the eyes of the public, but also to inform the public. Not to seem like some white knight figure, but also to seem like just an information highway, kind of like internet news does. Internet news covers everything, and that's mostly third-party sites, not main sites. But I mean, CNN and stuff, you can even go there, and you get a lot of news. Of course, their main front page is probably right now this case, but there's still a lot of news information on there. Why? Because it's a database full of information. Now, news on television, they can only cover so much on a certain set time. So why do they waste all that time with covering like consistency of this trial? And that's not CNN per se, but it's a lot of other main news networks. I don't understand why it's a big deal. Why do they do this? Why do they focus on this? I can't grasp the concept. The news is supposed to be basically intensity, like basically like how big of a deal it is, how many people it affects, how close it is to everyone, how recent it is, like all these things. Now, none of those things matter. None of those things are a big deal to me. Because it just, none of those things fit. That's basically the order of how we determine the importance of news. And I'll say it again. It goes in this order, and it first starts out with how big of a deal is it? Like, one time we discussed it. We discussed that the worse it is, the more important it is, right? So if it's some kind of irregular thing that happens, right? Not something we expect, right? So this case, first of all, doesn't really fit that because she said she was abused. She stabs him and kills him. Stabs him like, what, 30-something times? Right? I saw the pictures. It's terrifying. It's horrible. But murders happen all the time. Right? Murders happen with knives all the time. People get stabbed all the time. But why do we focus on this one? Why is it this one in particular? Is it because she's a woman? Is it because she's fighting back against domestic abuse? See, we had a case like this a while back. I don't know if any of you remember the Casey Anthony trial. And as much as I try to forget about it, it was there for, like, just embedded in my brain. And that's all we could talk about for the longest time. And I don't know why we talked about it for the longest time. Because I think that when we talk about it so much, things get over-exaggerated and under-exaggerated, right? And that means people come forward that shouldn't come forward. People don't come forward that should come forward because of this attention we're giving to it. It's the same thing with the with all these shootings and stuff. We give it so much attention. We give the shooter, the people who do these terrible things, so much attention that people will do anything to kind of get known. I say get known like it's a COD term most of the time, but now it's like not a COD term, but it's like, you know, oh, get known. But here I'm saying it like they try and get their name out there. They want to be somebody, even if that's somebody terrible. So it really bugs me when we focus so hard on this, when it should be like, maybe this girl stabbed this guy, and this is the trial, find out more on our website or something like that. And that should be it, right? Because when I watch the local news, that's what it is in the morning. We talk about all different types of things. We cover everything that happened in Arkansas or everything that happened in this vicinity. That's important to know. And if we don't, then they say go to our website. They promote their website more than I promote my websites when I'm making a video or streaming. But it just bugs me because my local station can do it, but national, which is supposed to be more information, more respected, bigger news, is not doing what I want them to do. I mean, I don't want to give local news a break because I don't really like watching local news because, well, I kind of did at first, and then they had like 2 different 10-minute segments talking about Justin Bieber because he came to Little Rock, and I'm like, okay, this is not news. This is not news. You don't think like 12-year-old girls watch the news. Maybe some do, but mostly it's parents, families, people that need to know information. Nobody cares about that. So it just bothers me. It really does. So I'll move on from intensity. Once again, this is how big of a deal is it? The next one is, and I'm getting this off of Wikipedia, Zpedia. Zpedia is like different little information things, and I know what it is. I just don't have the book with me, so I'm kind of go over this. I had to kind of proofread it just to make sure I know what it is. But I'm using their terms, and it's the number of people affected by it. Right. So how many people does this affect? That's what makes it also very important. This doesn't really affect any of us. It doesn't. It doesn't affect anyone outside of their family, the people involved. And that's all I'm going to say about it. If it doesn't affect us, why do I want to know about it? If it doesn't affect the nation, then why would we want to see it on national television? Once again, local television? Maybe. Probably. But national? No. No. Proximity. And that is, how close is this happening to me? I don't even know where this place... Let's look. Let's look. Where is this? This is something. Oh, come on. You got Arizona. It says Arizona, something, Phoenix, Arizona. Okay, so that's in Arizona. I'm in Arkansas. That's pretty goddamn far away. Why do I care about somebody murdering someone else in Arizona? I don't care. I don't know why. Why am I supposed to? Am I supposed to care about someone getting murdered? No, I don't. And then the one that's most important to me, after proximity, timeliness, right? How recent is this event? This murder happened in 2008. 2008. It's 2013. The murder happened in 2008. The trial's happening now, like it's been going on. Can we move on with our lives? And I ask that the family move on too. I was watching it at work, and it bugged me because I saw the brother of the guy who was murdered, and once again, quote, whatever, quote me if you want, bless his soul, right? You can call me out and I said bless his soul. Bless his heart. He has to be going through a difficult time, right? His brother was murdered, brutally murdered. And I empathize with him. And even if he was putting on a little bit of a show for the jury, because he wants her to get whatever the worst sentence possible, which makes sense. I would put on a show too if I found out, and even if I wasn't emotionally scarred, or if I was emotionally scarred, I would make sure the jury thought I was, if someone murdered my brother. But he said he was so distraught over it, he left his wife. Like that's what was in the news today, and I just saw this. I kind of like glanced over it, but it said like it was such like it impacted him so hard, like his marriage got fucked up. Like what? What? How does that even? Are you sure it was? Are you sure that's what happened? Really? Like that's something that I can say should not happen. If my brother was murdered, I would not. If I was married, I would not have trouble with the woman I was in love with. Of course, if I broke up the marriage, I wouldn't blame it on that. I would find something better. But I don't want to dog on the family too much, right? I just want to go over what I saw on the television today as I was walking around where I work. Well, today being, whenever this video goes up, it was the... where's my... I don't have my phone. I don't know what today's date is. It's fucking Thursday. It was Thursday. But this is what I mean though. It's like I don't even know what today is, but I do know that this trial's been going on way too long. I've seen it I saw it the first time like 2, maybe 3 weeks ago. Like I started seeing about it, and then every single day I'm at work, I'll see it at some point on the television, whether it's on CNN, whether it's on some weird other channel. But it's like we can't drop it. And why can't we drop it? Because it's all we want to talk about. It's all not we, but it's all the news wants to talk about. They don't want to discuss things that actually matter. And I'm not going to get into any kind of political debacle or religious debacle, but we've got other things that we need to be looking at, other things that we need to be talking about, other things that we need to cover besides one murder case in one area, and then that's it. Like, and we need to move on. Like, if we're going to cover this case, we got to cover all murder cases. We have to cover all domestic, like, big-time issues where the husband beats the wife, or the wife beats the husband, or the husband murders the wife, or the wife murders the husband. We have to cover all of these. Because it's offensive to me, almost. Once again, I don't care that much. But it's almost offensive to me to think that these other murder cases aren't as important as this one. And the extra leveled importance of this one may take away from the legitimacy of the trial itself. May not, but it may. Who knows? Oh man, that turned into a rant. I apologize. But it bugs me, and I wanted to talk about it, and it's been a while since I've done a commentary, and if I have something that I want to say, then I usually put it in a commentary. And I try not to focus on things that are like international news or newsworthy that people know about. I try not to grab views from that. But this is something that I wanted to talk about over the fact that I didn't want to seem like I'm grabbing views for it. I'm assuming whenever the verdict is reached, what I already thought it was, I already thought she was guilty, I already thought they convicted her, and all that stuff. I thought it was done with, but apparently it's not. And when the trial's over, it'll all be gone. We'll never hear about her again. Just like the Casey Anthony trial. I hate to compare that because it's different altogether. But once that trial was over, like, I never saw or heard of her again. Until, like, somebody linked on Facebook said, oh, remember this? Look what's happening with her now. And then I said, why do I care? So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully, I've at least sparked some kind of mood. Please, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. Tell me what your problem is, or what your problem is with what I'm saying. Maybe you want to watch this case for 3 weeks. I don't know. Maybe it's important to you. And it would be important to you if it's your family or something like that. So I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to the other people. that it doesn't affect. So anyway, thanks for watching. I will spoon you later.